In Generation 6 and 7 draft leagues, one of the most important decisions you could make when drafting your team was selecting your Mega Pokemon. These juiced up monsters could often be centerpieces of a team or even an entire metagame. Some Megas like Mega Galate, Diancie, and Medicham boasted incredible power. Meanwhile, you had options like Mega Scizor, Venusaur, and Tyranitar with unbreakable bulk. And then you also had Aerodactyl, Pidgeot, and Lopunny who were known for their blitzing speed. However, not all Megas were made equally, making some lower tier Megas much less likely to be drafted or used effectively. I'm looking at you, Mega Absol. Though every once in a while, a lower tier Mega will be picked up and used to great effect in the format, solidifying its own niche. That is definitely the case with today's story, the story of how Mega Sharpedo destroyed the strongest draft league tournament in the world. DPL, or the Draft Premier League, is a draft league team tournament encompassing all standard draft formats from ORAS to USUM to Swish, and finally now, Scarlet and Violet. Sharpedo found prevalence in USUM, most notably drafted and piloted by fellow draft league YouTuber and longtime player Aster J in both Season 6 and 7. During this time, Aster went 7-3 with his Mega Sharpedo teams, contributing to its 72% win rate. That is the fourth highest in the tournament's history in Ultra Sun and Moon. In talking with Aster prior to making this video, there were three main takeaways I took as to why Shark was such a solid sleeper pick. Number one is Speed Boost. Sharpedo boasts a strong draw ability once it Mega Evolves, which allows for incredibly strong crunches and Psychic Fangs to be thrown out. However, a lot of its value comes from its ability before Mega Evolving in Speed Boost. In conjunction with the free turn, either due to a forced switch out, or in most cases thanks to a Protect, before Mega Evolving, Sharpedo gains a +1 in speed. After Mega Evolution, it's a base 105 speed Pokemon with a +1 in the stat, allowing it to function as an immediate revenge killer to insane offensive threats, or even a late game cleaner in conjunction with the entry hazard set up by its teammates. That 105 speed tier is really important, allowing it to outpace a plethora of the metagame, even when scarfed. In particular, outspeeding the bevy of Pokemon around the 90 to 105 speed tier, even when boosted or scarfed, is insanely valuable. These include common scarfers like Crocodile, Hydreigon, Victini, Garchomp, and Nihilego, and boosting Pokemon like Salamence and Volcarona. Number two is its typing both offensively and defensively. Obviously, offensively, Shark is insane, with a base attack of 140 and a great dual stab that's not easily resisted, and access to Psychic Fangs, Earthquake, and even Aqua Jet priority. Sharpedo, however, is not known for its bulk. In fact, it's insanely frail. Despite this, its natural defensive typing resists a ton of common attacking types and relevant priority in the Ultra Sun and Moon metagame, namely Mega Scizor Bullet Punch, Ice Shard from Weavile and Mammothorine, and Stray Sucker Punches. Extreme Speed is much less common in Ultra Sun and Moon, and Vacuum Wave isn't as possible to get on half as many Pokemon as you would just see in today's Scarlet and Violet metagame. The only two relevant users coming to mind, in fact, are Mew and Infernape. Plus, due to the speed boost that it can get, Sharpedo can typically spec a ton into its defensive EVs, allowing it to live these stray vacuum waves and nuke both standard users with its dual stabs. And if that somehow was not enough, the dark typing and making it immune to the likes of Klefki and its prankster Thunderwave is invaluable for an offensive cleaner. And third is going to be its price tag. Mega Sharpedo also has a low cost to any team that drafts it, and even despite its success in DPL's USUM tier, Mega Sharpedo costs a measly 10 points, allowing for the rest of the teams to support it greater as there's more budget to work with. Good pairings that you could grab would be Momentum Grabbers, Fast Offense outside of Shark, and Solid Hazards. You could see this on Aster's 2 Sharpedo drafts, showing off partners like Landorus T, Thunderous Eye, Klefki, and Infernape. Lando and Thundy in particular featured on both teams. So we've seen in theory what makes Mega Sharpedo a solid pick. Let's take a look at it in practice with a few example games. Alrighty, we're going to show off 2 games really quick here, just to kind of reiterate some of the things we're talking about in the intro. Again, I want to reiterate too that when I talk about Sharpedo being, really solid and really slept on, I don't mean in the sense that it is this game breaker. It's going to come in and win every single matchup and be insane. It's severely underpriced. No, I think it's good because it's aptly priced and good value. And I just kind of want to show it getting great value. And I think this game is a great indicator of it. This looks like it was just recently in the most recent DPL season 7. This is Aster versus iPro in Gen 7. I don't think it was this season, but was it season 6, season before? I think iPro won USUM MVP, unless I'm absolutely tripping. iPro's obviously a very good player. And yeah, I do want to skip ahead though to the point we're not going to sit through and watch through these entire games and give like detailed analysis because I don't have detailed analysis. These games were played a while ago and I wasn't even, playing, So we're going to go ahead to right here. Just, some kind of context to what's going on. We see a big Will-O-Wisp miss here, right? Turn 10. And we're going to see this Houndoom get knocked out. Very, very fortunate Will-O-Wisp for, obviously, Aster on this side. Then we're going to see Latios come in. Latios is already previously paired due to the, I believe it was Thundy. Yeah, Thundy clicking T-Wave on it, which is also going to be great for Sharpedo, right? Slowing things down. If this thing was a potential Scarf variant, now it didn't outspeed your +1 Sharpedo. So, like, hey, again, plenty of things right here. But I want to show, again, just the natural bull, or like, just like the weird ability of this thing to be able to live hits. This is more so funny than it is like Sharpedo, being expertly EV'd. Keep in mind, there's a light screen up, but this is a Latios. And you'll see here, it's actually going to be a Z Latios, as the Landorus is going to U-turn out, and unfortunately doesn't get the kill right here. And realistically, the best sack piece at this point is going to be the Sharpedo. It doesn't necessarily beat anything left on this team 1v1, minus Manaphy, which it will curl with Crunch, but this kills it with, T-Bolt. This kills it if it is a Scarf variant. It looks like it isn't, but Salazzle also will kill it with a Poison move from there. So it's not like you need Sharpedo to kill the Manaphy, and you definitely don't beat the other 3 1v1 as well, minus this thing. So from here, best sack is obviously going to be Sharpedo, but with this light screen up, we're actually going to be able to position this Sharpedo to not only take a Draco, but a devastating Z Draco from 90, or only taking 91%, and then because this Latios is paired, we're going to go ahead and see a Crunch pop. It's going to knock out this Latios. We're going to see the speed boost here. Now, again, just getting good value out of this very fast and obnoxious Pokemon. We're playing against a very bulky team. Selly plus Clef is a really bulky core alongside mons like Nidoqueen. Even obviously Latios and Manaphy are pretty bulky. And this Sharpedo is actually carrying some really cool coverage. It's going to be Poison Jab here, which means it's going to guarantee get off some damage on this Clef, right? As we do Mega Evolve and Poison Jab. Do a clean 47, which, by the way, if that's Fizz-Def Clef, that's a good amount of damage, dude. So we get off a decent amount into this Clef, but on top of that, we're going to see the Rock Scope, which makes sense in this play because, obviously you think you can beat this thing 1v1, you kill this on switch in, you get Rocks off on the Salazzle. There's just this thing as boots. The Thundurus also dies if Rocks go up. So getting off this Poison Jab is going to be nice. We're going to chip this thing down as Rocks go up. Now from here though, you think, okay, we're going to soft boil and get healthy as possible, and then kill this thing with the Moon Blast after, we get as healthy as humanly possible in its face. But we see the Sharpedo is actually rocking with a Tech Taunt on it, able to taunt this Clefable, stop it from recovering, and now you bring it down to 20% potentially, right? No, you get a crit, which is even more value. Down goes the Clefable. Celesteela is going to come out. This light screen is still up. We see a Crunch doing 41 to Selly, and Flash Cannon not killing. Again, I know light screen is up, but we think of Sharpedo as a very frail Pokemon. This is probably a decently fat Sharpedo. It lived this thing on 1%, which is freaking crazy, and it's able to get off 2 crunches into the Celesteela, which is huge in this game. At this point, actually not anymore. Once you get off any damage on this thing, your Salazzle should be able to kind of pick it up, but regardless, we're going to be in a pretty good spot. We see a Protect come out here. Again, you just go ahead and crunch one more time. It's okay if there's any other move clicked or anything like that, but Sharky's going to take this thing down. Down it goes. And then, we're just going to be able to get into Salazzle. You see Salazzle cleans this game up, obviously. With, again, the support Sharpedo. Sharpedo did a lot more work than it, really needed to in this game. I think it was still potentially a very good end game for Aster if he was able to damage some things down. That ends up being like a sub-Salic Belch set, which is really, really clean tech. But getting off any damage on the Celesteela was really important because I don't think Salazzle would kill it full with a flamethrower, which is obviously, very, very big. And Rocks went up, so this is dead, and this thing couldn't break through the Selly. So Selly also could have potentially just won the game on its own if it was rocking with an Earthquake or, something like that. It doesn't look like it. It's just clean Flash Cannon right here. Regardless, though, we're just going to go ahead and see a Flamethrower. Yeah, it is Flamethrower, and I don't think that killed, to be honest. We get double. And then this one is going to kill here, obviously. And then we just see a Belch knock this thing out. So, pretty clean tech here. Again, it wasn't that Sharpedo came in and won the game, but it got insane value for what it was at. And the dumb hits that it lived, the Devastating Drake was just more so kind of funny than anything. But it was more so living that Flash Cannon from 9%. Again, light screen is up. It's a Celesteela and you're a Mega Sharpedo and you took 8% from that Flash Cannon, allowing yourself to get off 2 hits instead of 1, which is awesome. And then we see neat techs like Taunt. We see Speed Boost come into play and really help out. So, I mean, yeah, really cool stuff. Big shout outs to Shark in this game. Definitely putting some work, and we'll show one more here. Alright, lastly, we have a game to kind of showcase the damage output that Shark can potentially have, especially if you get a little bit fortunate. We have a game that Aster sent us, I believe, from DPL Season 6. Him against, I believe this is Beardy, because this is the Oldie Dragon. I'm assuming this is the team that had old in their name. I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is Beardy, though. Again, in Usam. And we're going to see just how strong this Pokemon is. We're going to kind of zoom through the game really quick, just to portray how shitty of a position Aster was in throughout this game. As we're going to get through here, we're not going to knock out the Garchomp with a, hidden power, so down goes our Thundurus. Then we're going to get into a position. Look at Amel, the key. Shouts to Big Amel. Toxic comes out. We try and get some spikes up and be annoying. It ends up being Defog Rotom. We're going to get up our rocks. We're going to knock this thing out. So, like 5-4. Aster's still down 1, but still very possible. Out comes this Cofagrigus, and this thing goes absolutely crazy in this matchup. As we're going to see a Trick Room come out here, we're going to see a Z, Never-Ending Nightmare, knock out this thing from 75, which it probably needed to with the Prism Armor, to be completely honest. Gonna go ahead and see a Shadow Ball into the Infernape. Very bulky. It slacks off here. We're going to see a Nasty Plot this upcoming turn. As Flare Blitz does not knock it out, bring it down to just 1 HP, which is obviously pretty crazy. I'm going to go ahead and see a Landorus come in and take a ridiculous amount of damage, almost die to this hit. And then from here, a Stone Edge is going to miss, and that's obviously not good. That looks like it's about a smash, which is pretty funny. But we're going to see Sharpedo come in. Again, using that Protect. Stalling out some Trick Room turns. That always helps, right? Energy Ball would fucking nuke this thing. We could be Tech Aqua Jet, but obviously we are not. We're going to go into our Infernape, and thankfully we actually do end up dying to the Shadow Ball, which is great because now Trick Room is over. We sacked our Mon, right? Out comes Sharpedo. We're going to see a mixed Ice Beam, which would have blown up the Garchomp, obviously. Take out this Cofagrigus, which is good. We don't want to attack into it physically because we'll get the Mummy, we'll lose our ability, and then not be faster than anything. So down that goes. Sharpedo is going to get up to +1. We're going to see the Hoopa come out. And again, we're just going to see the raw damage output of Shark. I know Hoopa doesn't have great defense, but this is from basically full after rocks. We're going to Mega Evolve, Crunch, and nuke this thing. So we're showing off to be mixed. We're showing that Mega Shark also has mixed capabilities, which we hadn't really talked about before. Combination of like Hydro Pump potentially into really, really fat Fizz Def Mons, in particular like fat Fizz Def fightings and things like that. Maybe like the random Beware matchup, you run Hydro Pump or something. You might run Attacking Fangs to play stronger, but Edgar's same thing. Ice Beam is great tech, and it also shows that this thing can definitely be Hidden Power Fire, and if it's Hidden Power Fire, it might just blow up a non-Aqua Scizor. But we're going to be in a position where Beardy goes into a Scizor. If he U-turns here, he does kill, as we see the Sharpedo Mega click Crunch this next turn. So it was not Hidden Power Fire. We're going to go ahead and knock this thing out. And this also makes me wonder, is this Scizor not rocking with U-turn? Is it Bullet Punch knockoff, like Roost Defog or something of the sorts? It's probably not Defog, maybe Toxic. And we didn't see a U-turn there. And in my head, I'm like, okay, well, if you're scouting for Aqua, you die anyways, and it's not like you want to come in and take more hazards before it, right? So, it ends up taking that. Out comes the Scizor. Now, again, I don't know the Scizor's coverage. If it just had Bullet Punch, or like knockoff or whatever it might be, it didn't 2-hit KO this thing, I don't think. As you're going to see it come out, Crunch is going to crit and knock out the Scizor from 76, and then Sharpedo just pulled back and cleaned up 4 in this game, as Crunch is going to blow up the Pidgeot after rocks as well, which is pretty funny. Again, getting pretty fortunate in this game, right? Getting the crit on the thing, but also, again, showing the raw damage output and the cleaning capabilities that this thing has, even with just something as little as hazards out, it really can almost pick up the game and win on its own. So obviously these weren't games where like Sharpedo was like just absolutely phenomenally positioned and like, could not be stopped and there's nothing the opponent could do because his broken Pokemon was only 10 points. But in every single game I showed, it got great value and it was a big contributing factor to the win. And I think that's really cool out of a 10-point mod. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of today's video on Mega Sharpedo. Please go check out Aster in the description below. I'm going to link him down there. Go check him out. I know he's going to be uploading 2 leagues in the upcoming future that I may be a part of. Spoilers. That's your exclusive info for watching to the end of an OG Albino YouTube video. You deserved it. Thank you, King or Queen. I appreciate you. But go check out Aster. He makes great content. He's a great player, obviously. And let me know what you guys think. If there's like anything you want me to cover in a type of video like this in particular, please let me know. I have an idea for the next one, which is going to be about Landorus T, specifically in Oras and its dominance and why it dominates so well in draft, but particularly in Oras, so darn well. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. Drop a like if you enjoyed, sub if you're new. See you guys next time. Later.